to another episode of Tales from the Toxic White Boomer. Tales from way back in the 50s and 60s when all us boomers were born, and these days are under threat and have been labelled, obviously, which is why I've got this hat. Anyway, off to our first story. It's 1962. I'm 10 years old. I'm in grade 4 at Turvey Park Demonstration School in Wagga Wagga, New South Wales. The name of our teacher that year was Mr. Levisianus. There were about 40 kids in the class. There were no teacher aides. And what set Mr. Levisianus apart from the rest of the teachers in the school was that he was given the extracurricular activity of caning all the kids. So it wasn't as though every other teachers could cane if they wanted to. The principal could cane, but what they decided to do was let Mr. Levisianus handle most of the caning, if not all of it. So when we first met him on day one, he stood in front of the class and he brought out a feather duster. You know, a feather duster. This thing was green. It was a green feather duster. He called it Greenie. He stood there and went, "This is Greenie." Okay, and we think, oh, okay. And so his first thing he did with it was he got his cigarette lighter out. Everyone used to smoke. Teachers, I mean, used to smoke. They'd smoked in class if they wanted to. Anyway, so he lit this cigarette lighter and burnt the end of the cane, the tip of the cane. It was a cane feather duster, not a plastic one with handle like they have these days. They were cane back then. So he burnt it. And the trick, of course, the idea behind that was, and he told this to us, he said, so that when I cane you, it's chance it won't split, or it shouldn't split. It makes it harder to split, which probably implies that it wasn't as though it wasn't going to split, it just wouldn't split. So anyway, when he used it on everyone, there was no discrimination at the school. Girls, boys, didn't matter. If you played up, you got caned. And there's a memorable incident that occurred, and it must have been during a craft lesson, I think. There's a bit of activity, and a girl by the name of Lyndall Chalmers, about my age, hi Lyndall if you're out there, she must have done something that was pretty bad. She might have had some cane, was cutting cane and cut a basket and mucking, I don't know, mucking her. Anyway, he laid into her, he caned her, and she got fibres in her fingers. The cane split and the fibres were in her fingers. So yeah, it's pretty vicious times. But kids from all over the school that were supposed to be caned for doing whatever they did used to turn up in our classroom. So, and I guess there must have been a time, otherwise they'd be disrupting classes, but there was a set time they turned up. The kids would turn up, they'd have a note, they'd hand it to Miss Levisianus, and he'd look at it and smile and say, "Come into my parlour." Now, each classroom had a storeroom behind the blackboard. He'd walk in, it was a storeroom, all the stuff in there, and Miss Levisianus's storeroom had enough room to swing a cane. So a kid would go in there, you'd hear thwack, thwack. Maybe got 2, 1 on each hand, or 4, thwack, 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 or 6, depending on how bad the misdemeanor was. So that was what it is. They come in, and that was how it used to happen. So there were a couple of drop kicks in grade 6 who used to love giving everyone else a hard time. Well, it might have been grade 5. Because anyway, these two, remember these pair? They thought they were pretty good. They used to hassle other kids and stuff, get into trouble. So they got sent to Miss Levisianus with a note, standing there, "Come into my parlour." So in they went. I'm not sure what they got. Let's say they got 4 each. So you did. Dunk, 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 dunk. They came out. We'd all been listening to what was going on and waiting for them to come out. When they walked out the door into the classroom, we all just yelled out, "They're laughing, Mr. Levisianus, they're laughing." So Mr. Levisianus came out of the store and went, "Come into my parlour." So in they went again, and he gave them another dose, 4 each or whatever it was. And the second time they came out, they were not laughing. So yeah, that's what life was like back in the early 60s in a primary school in regional New South Wales. And I bet they're not like that these days. 40 kids, forget it. No teacher aides, forget it. Caning, forget it. You got it tough these days. You're giving us boomers a hard time. You wouldn't have any fucking idea what we went through. So you won't get a lot of sympathy from old pricks like me because you want to lay it on the line.